Hello everyone and welcome back. So I got this book here sent to me by the lovely people at TIG Publications. It's called the Simply Anxiety Free Colouring Book for Adults. So calming workbook with stress reducing art and messages by Saied Shahsavari, I think. Saied Shahsavari. So it's designed by him, which is a practitioner in sort of therapies and things. So it's meant to directly target things like various depression, anxieties, and those sort of things. So there's a bit of an intro here about the author. I'm not going to read all of that, but I thought I'd leave it on there for a little bit so you can pause it if you want to have a read. But we'll just keep going. One of the things that I've sort of realized with this book is that it is not, in fact, the sort of author of this book that's done the illustration. Illustrations are done by this Jonathan, I think it's Geall, and yes, it's not the same people that are doing the illustrations to the person who actually made the book. So there's a bit of a sort of personal page where you can sort of have a look at what you feel like you want to work on. So here you can kind of see if you have various things that you want to work on. You have chronic anxiety, acute anxiety, anxious about relationships, previous relationships, family related anxieties, anxiety because of bereavement, and we have anxieties related to jobs, careers and finances, or anxiety related to health. And all of these have got, as you can see, different illustrations that you can then do that's meant to sort of, I don't know, help with those sort of things. So these are the illustrations. So each illustration comes like on a double page like this with like a little quote or a saying on the left hand side here, and then you have this sort of building that, well, not building, well on this page you've got a building, but you've got a picture that sort of matches what you've just read on that little saying. So there's lots of different things. We had the houses, now we got a bit more of a, I don't know, like a suburban street maybe. We got that little bus. And now one of the things I'm noticing, and that is the page number is on the page that you're meant to colour. That is a massive pet peeve of mine, and I will definitely be feeding this back to the publicist. That way they can change it up, because, well, if we don't give them that feedback, they can't improve on it. So one of the things I'm noticing as well is with the paper here, it is a bit like more like copy paper rather than, you know, your thicker paper for the sort of maybe like more like watery mediums and things. So you'll definitely have to use more like colouring pencils or something that's not going to go through the page with this one, because I think most water-based or water-soluble things is going to go straight through. It's quite thin, but it is nice and smooth, and I think you're just using colouring pencils, I think you'll be able to do quite well. So I'll just go quickly through all the pages, that way you get to see what's in here. We've got a lovely little kitchen, and she looks a bit like my kitchen actually, with the kitchen island and all of that, the little glass mirrored, the glass covered cabinets up the top there, very similar to my kitchen. Nice big stove. So that sort of speaks to me a bit. We've got a little bedroom here. There is, okay, that one would be actually really lovely as maybe like a sunset or something like that. That would be really nice. We've got a train, so you can, you know, choose your train and choose your seat, as it said on the thing. Different destinations. So yeah, no, they're quite, some of these little sayings are quite quite nice, and obviously you can definitely do a whole lot with some of these pictures, and adding, you know, different coloured skies. They do lend themselves to, I think, some nice sort of colourful skies. We got a gym, interesting, and like a yoga studio or something like that. So, ooh, okay, this is quite interesting. I don't think I've ever seen a night sky done that way before with the stripes. That could actually be pretty cool to colour, I think. I do like that. It looks really sparkly, and you could probably add some stuff in the water and things. I think this actually looks really cool. And then we got more like sort of like family settings. We've got a family sitting watching TV, maybe like friends and family talking together, being together. We just got someone just sitting there chilling, watching some TV again. And we got an airport, maybe so you can fly away to some sort of destination that you want to go to. Oh, we've got a cruise ship again here. We've got some awesome sort of sky cloud things. We've got some little islands, maybe it's like a fjord or something like that, which you should be able to, up these clouds here, do maybe some sunsets or some really funky colours. And we've got some people going out hiking by the looks, looks some sort of mountainy terrain and things. I think that should be would be nice to colour as well. And we have, looks like a hotel lobby of some sort, and we got it looks like a taxi taking us somewhere. Oh, I like this one. Looks like a marketplace of some sort, lots of food and things. And we got looking out like a view from a window out into a garden. We've got a laptop, we've got some work things, a little cat on the screen there. We've got a good old-fashioned fruit bowl, a little timer, some candles, and we got a beautiful, what looks like a tropical getaway. I'd like to chill out there, I think. You can do some cool stuff with the water again. Oh, here, more water things. We got a little rowboat there with a few people out. We've got a sunset or sunrise, so you can do lots of cool stuff in the water there. So let's see what we've got on the next page. We've got some, what are they called in English? Is that like gondolas or something like that? I'm not quite sure. It's one of those things I just never thought about. And we've got some little hot air balloons. I think that's the ones from the front page there. So you can, you know, fly away. Just go where the wind takes you. And someone's up on the almost top of the world, up on a big sort of mountain hill there. We've got a really sort of zen garden, almost like it looks a bit like a big bonsai tree kind of thing there. And we got some that also look like very sort of Asian style housing. It definitely looks very, I don't know whether like Japanese or something like that. I got the Japanese feelings. Oh, we got a swimming or diving board. We got a library, and I got sort of a nice backyard outdoor area by the looks. Little seating area there, and then we got a nice comfortable bedroom. We can snuggle up in the bed. And there we go. I think I kind of missed that first page, but this is the same picture except that they put in a piano. So that is little things of that one. So just looking at some other books from the same author doing this. Now, one of the things I'm pretty certain with these books is that I think they are printed by Amazon. If you look here, so this one was printed by Amazon Australia, and I know for a fact that this the people that contacted me were not in Australia. So I have a feeling that each country Amazon will sort of print these on, maybe on order. I'm not sure. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to color in just this little tree here. It sort of reminded me of a bonsai tree. I just want to test out how these pages work. I'm going to use my Prismacolor today just because I've just realized I don't usually use a lot of Prismacolor, and I find this paper is very, very smooth, which I think I need a pencil that is soft and it's going to lay it down fairly thickly straight away, and that I don't have to put down a lot of layers all at once. So I think Prismacolor is going to work all right with this one. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to add in sort of where my darker areas are going to be, and then we're going to go in lighter. So I'm kind of doing a little bit opposite to what I tend to do with polychromos. I've kind of noticed that a lot of people, when they use Prismacolor, they tend to go from dark to light rather than from light to dark, because obviously when I do work with my polychromos, I most of the time, not always, but most of the time I go from light to dark. So I thought I'll do the opposite today, just for something different. I will speed up this a little bit because I'm not meaning for this to be a tutorial or anything like that. I just wanted to see how the kind of effects that we can get on this paper. As I said, it is similar. It feels similar to me like sort of copy paper, not super thick, but the colors are layering down on here, so that is good. So it's definitely something that could be useful to use for like the therapy purposes that I think this book was absolutely made for. So yeah, and this picture in itself is actually very sort of zen. It's like it's got that those sort of rings in the background that could be cool to make like a gradient with some light and things, and then we have that little lily pond and with this sort of slightly larger bonsai tree. It looks really cool, I think, and hopefully we can do a good job out of this tree. So yeah, that wasn't quite as dark as I thought it was going to be. That's me not having much practice with my Prismacolors. I really should try to use them a little bit more, even if I don't film them. So I'm just adding in a little bit more shading or a little bit darker colours, and then we'll go over with some lighter ones afterwards. So I'm going to go in with this lime peel colour, just layering over the top. I'm actually impressed with the Prismacolors that they're actually layering down quite nicely on here. So it's definitely, the fact that it's more similar to copy paper probably shouldn't put you off. If you like using soft pencils, you can definitely get in some nice colours on here. So don't worry too much about that. And I thought I'd go in and do some burnishing. This is the grey-green light, and it's like the super light green. So I'm just going to go over and just push down fairly hard and just burnish everything. You should still be able to add a little bit more color over the top if you want to, but once you burnish it, you are limited to how much more you can put down. So don't go and push too hard until you're certain that you've got at least a good amount of layers down first, and then you can just touch up a little bit here and there if you need it. So I'm just going to finish off the trunk and the branches. So I'm going to go in here with my darkest sort of brown tone and go wherever I want sort of my shadows to be, where there's sort of little what looks like indentations, where the canopy will naturally shade. So I'm just going sort of underneath the branches, a little bit to the side. I'm kind of thinking that sort of those circles behind the person meditating, it might sort of be a little bit of a light source. So I'm thinking that the light will then be coming a little bit from the left, so we're having more shading on the right. So I'm just going to finish off this trunk with like a little bit of black here and there just to get the contrast in, and once I'm done with this, then we are done. So I found it was actually pretty quick and easy to get down the color on the paper, even though it's sort of thinnish paper compared to a lot of other books. I think we did really well. So if you have anxiety or anything like that, this might be the book for you to find something to help. So let me know what you think. I will put the link in the description box below if you want to have a look at it. Thank you so much for watching today. I wish you all a colourful day, and I will see you again next time.